Hollyoaks.
Hi and welcome along to the Starting 11 here on AFTV. We are ready for the big game tonight, brought to you today by NordVPN. Of course, it is Arsenal versus Newcastle. Huge game. First versus third tonight. And joining me to discuss what we think the Starting 11 might be, or what you hope it might be, is back from illness, right? We're glad to see he's back fit and well. Gabriel Jesus, no, not Gabriel Jesus. Lee Judge is in the building.
Thank you. I'm a little bit better. Not 100%, you know what I mean?
Not 100%?
Not 100%, but definitely a lot better.
What sort of you had?
I had the flu, it was terrible. No, I'd done a COVID test and everything, but that was negative. But yeah, for 4 days, completely out of it, like, knocked out. Couldn't get out.
You missed the game on it,
missed the game.
You watch it?
I watched it, but I watched it from my bed. I was selling James on for Arsenal, where I was laying. I managed to get out of my bed and just get myself on the sofa. When Arsenal scored that first goal, I just went, yeah. I just didn't have the energy to jump up and all that, like, you know.
Yeah.
And, it was hard watching the game because I was sort of drifting a little bit, but I was a little bit better for the Aston Villa Spurs game. Yeah.
Julian's in the building as well.
Hey.
Great to have you, Julian, man. You was at the game.
Yeah, I was at the game.
You was at the game. Also, I saw your fan cam. Arsenal got lucky.
That was the headline, but I went into the reasons why, and it was just, I thought the goals were slightly fortunate, and if you go through each one, I think the first one was a deflection, the second one he hits it into the ground. I've heard that he meant to do that.
He meant to do that, yeah.
Okay, if he meant to do that, I'll take that one back. Third one, I thought the goalkeeper could have done better. He parried it out, and the fourth one went through his legs. So I thought in that
That's not lucky, though, is it?
Well, I thought each goal had an element of fortune to it. However, overall, we definitely deserved to win the game. And we weren't lucky in...
You capitalise on someone's mistakes, it's not luck, is it?
It's not. I thought each goal had an element of luck to it, and also the VAR decision was so... It was so minuscule.
It's correct, though,
it was correct. So
not luck, yeah.
So in that respect...
That's not luck as well.
It went our way.
But if it's the correct decision, it's not luck.
It was
the correct decision, not luck, is it?
I said overall...
No, hold on.
Okay.
If it's the correct decision, that's not lucky, is it?
It was lucky, and the reason...
No, but you just said it's the correct decision.
It was the correct decision, but it was so fine margins, and it could have gone the other way, and if it had gone the other way, then I think we're in a bit of trouble, and it was the only time
If it had gone the other way, it'd have been wrong.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, if it had gone the other way, it would have been slightly the other side.
I actually kind of get what you mean.
Yeah,
I actually get what Julian's saying.
Yeah.
And actually, it's funny because my dad said a similar thing. We were talking about it. You know, he said we were brilliant. Well, a little bit of fortune in some of the moments, but I think you make that luck for yourself. And I know that's a cliche thrown around, but also Arsenal, they did feel like we would score with every attack. I was watching us. I thought. Yeah. We looked like we could just play through Brighton, create more opportunities, and that ball from Odegaard that finishes it off. You know, it did feel like Arsenal were on such a level in terms of their attacking sharpness that, you know, yes, I know what you mean, there's an element of fortune to the 4 goals, but at the same time, you know, I think we were well worthy of 4. So I do get what you're saying.
Could have scored more.
And Odegaard didn't mean that, by the way.
Well, that's what I thought. So when I saw the replay,
I think he did.
No, I think he did. You watch it again. He hits it into the ground. We've seen Ozil do that over the years. He doesn't hit it because you know what I think he meant it right. He didn't just go blast it. He didn't try to side foot it along the ground. He deliberately tried to hit it into the ground, into that area. It's a great goal.
I think he did. You know
why?
why?
He said it as well after the game.
Yeah, tongue in cheek, he said it.
No,
I wasn't that delusional. Yeah.
I think we're seeing players actually attempt that more and more because think how often it's almost like when players head it into the ground because there's a degree of uncertainty when it bounces back up for keepers and defending players. I think also when you're going on it's not a volley but a looping ball like that. I think even pros will absolutely sky it sometimes. I think just to hit it into the ground and redirect it into the direction of a semi-empty net or whatever, I think he did mean it. I really do.
Well, anyway, James needs no introduction. He's just spoken.
Oh, yeah, hello, everyone. Sorry, I'm here.
AFC Max with a super chat. He says, Lee, at least you watch the games. unlike certain people, cough, not naming anyone particular, cough, Jordan in brackets. Lee, I think I'm getting sick too. Right? By the way, you two have done some brilliant acting in recent times. Your therapy that you've been doing. Let's check it out right now.
It's like I've had no freedom to just be myself. I keep getting restricted. It's like someone's watching me at home, on the train, even in the bathroom. It's making me see red!
Well, that's because London is red.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Well, just to be sure, I'm going to prescribe you 2 years of NordVPN. You'll feel a better sense of self when you can explore the internet with freedom. And with next generation encryption on up to 6 devices, those feelings of being watched will be gone.
Does that mean I can access new content on the streaming services I've already subscribed to?
Just change your location in the app.
And I won't get tagged by any malware?
Nord's threat protection will have you covered.
And I can save money when travelling and shopping locally instead of internationally?
All that plus 4 months free.
Oh wow. Thank you, Doc.
All right, Ty.
No, I'm not right. It's a disgrace.
Charming.
Remember, with the AFTV special, you get 4 months free, and there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to nordvpn.com/AFTV now.
The Academy Award-winning Lee judges. And, of course, Julian. And don't forget NordVPN. You can check it out right now. Scan the QR code or check the link in the description. I've said this many a times on the show, and I'm being truthful here. Used it many a times when I was over in Qatar to protect me, you know what I mean, protect against malware. It's great for security. Also, you can, you know, wherever you are, where in the world, you can use it to watch content. So
I've done it
in Qatar. You can watch it. You can watch it in England when you're in Belgium. So it's a really, really good thing to have. You can use it over here, and you could watch, say, Netflix, the American version. So if you want to get one, use the link in the description right now, or scan that QR code. A special AFTV deal on that. So get with that right now. Big up to Red Smoke with the super chat. He says, big up guys, hope you're well. So do you think the loan deal for Felix will happen? Thoughts? We'll chat about that later on. I mean, we'll chat a little bit about the transfer news that's flying around at the moment. But first of all, let's talk about tonight. It's a big, big game, guys. You know what I mean? We're up against Newcastle. They've only lost 1 game this season. They've been playing brilliant football. They went away to Leicester, blew them away, won that 3-0. But they did have a little bit of slip up at the weekend, drawing 0-0 against Leeds. That was a real surprise, actually, because you know I thought that they'd definitely win that quite easy. How are you feeling about the game tonight?
First of all, I'm looking at Odegaard score from the kick-off, because like, he can do anything, this bloke. You know what I mean?
Are you still? I told you he meant that.
So there we go. Like, you know what I mean? So I expect him to kick off and go straight into the top corner.
So you still think he didn't mean it?
Well, no, I'm just saying. Yes, I don't think he didn't mean that. Like, you know what I mean?
He meant it.
I'm with you. Can we get a poll up?
Yeah, can we get
Let's get a poll up. Did
Can we
Odegaard
get a
mean
poll
his
up and
goal
be really
or
honest
not?
about it? Yeah.
Yeah. Did Odegaard mean his goal or not? Let's get a poll up.
Yeah, let's get a poll.
See, when they asked him about it in the interview after the game,
He smiled.
Huh?
He smiled.
No, he smiled, but the commentator said, it's probably not the greatest goal you've ever scored. And he replied, I think it was a great goal. But I think he was smiling because I think he found that question a little bit insulting.
It wasn't insulting.
Like, hold on, like, it's a great finish. You know, I've meant that. And,
and also,
put down him as a mistake.
You calling the first goal by Saka lucky? What a technique, the way he just took that, bang, slotted it into
I'll tell you what was lucky, is that it took 2 deflections, the cross,
He hit
to
one
go straight into
deflection.
his path.
So
it was
what?
2.
Yeah, I mean, you're
But
taking
that's-
advantage of.
But that's
there's
lucky.
deflections in every
That's
game,
lucky.
Julian.
There is an element
I don't
of
think
luck.
that's luck.
There isn't.
Brighton's goal was lucky, came off Saliba's knee.
Okay, then their goal was lucky.
No, I know
we
what you
talk
mean.
about
I think with every goal there's
on
an
that
element
first
of
goal,
error.
There's an
or
element
luck
of
or
luck in
something.
every goal.
Do you know what? I'm sorry. Do you know
Go
what
on.
I did like about that Martinelli, by the way? Is that in the first half, every time we cut inside, the shot, the deflections, whatever, weren't working. First minute of the second half, he went on the outside, bang. across. Now, whether he's been told that or that was just one of his things.
That was lucky as well.
No, that's not luck. That is playing the percentages and saying, right, defender thinks you're going to go inside. He varies his playing when you get another goal.
And
right,
that was Martinelli's goal.
Yeah.
Oh no, that
No,
was
Nketiah.
that was
Nketiah's
Nketiah.
goal,
So it's
yeah.
when he cuts in, he plays that shot hard. The goalkeeper puts it straight to Nketiah and it goes in. That one.
Yeah, but he went on the outside.
Oh, I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant that approach.
That
play.
was really good, like, you know. So,
Eddie Nketiah, great poach.
Brilliant.
Poach goal.
Yeah, you've got to be
nothing
there.
lucky
Scoring.
about that.
Yeah. But tonight, boys, you know what I mean, this is the game now. Tonight, I mean, let's focus on tonight because that game's gone. Newcastle, another team that have been playing brilliant football. We've got to show them so much respect. The manager's been doing a fantastic job.
Fantastic.
You know, and they've got some very, very good players. I mean, Almiron has been unbelievable. Trippier. You know, these sort of guys have been playing out of their skin this season. And if Arsenal are not on it tonight, this is the sort of game in which we could slip up in.
Exactly, get punished tonight if they're not, and that's the good thing. I think the good thing about the weekend, from my point of view, is I think Newcastle, despite going 12 games unbeaten so far, they've gone under the radar a little bit.
Yeah.
That result against Leeds, they looked a little bit spiky towards the end of it, like, because there was a little expectation. So that tells me that they really feel that they've got it, they've got a chance. So they're not going to be under the radar as much now. Arsenal need to, you know, I think even someone was saying on Sky today, get as many points in as we can. We can go 10 points clear of Manchester City today with a win. Forget about what they played. 10 points clear. 13 points clear of Newcastle. At this stage of the season, Robbie, it's a massive, massive game tonight. Home advantage, got to nail it today.
Yeah. Fred Eustace says, this is for Julian. There's a saying for being lucky. The harder you work, the luckier you get.
Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. And I'd say Arsenal deserve the luck. They absolutely deserve the luck. I mean, they played well, but it wasn't a faultless performance.
No, it wasn't.
And I think we caught Brighton on a good day as well. That could be slightly lucky. Brighton
You're not going to give us any credit for going there, going away and putting 4 goals past a very dangerous team, a team that destroyed Chelsea home.
I would say I am 70% happy with the Arsenal performance that I saw.
70% happy.
70% happy. And that is because the expectations now when I go and watch Arsenal are so much higher than they have been the last few seasons because of how well we play, how well organised we are, how we've been finishing games off. And the fact that we played what I consider to be an understrength Brighton team and we should have gone on to win that game far more comfortably and we gave them that glimmer of hope. That was slightly disappointing. And on a different day, we could have come a cropper. And we got away with that one. That's how I felt when we left.
I disagree. Yeah. I look at that game and I think, well, we're still referring back to that game. But I look at that game and say, it was almost, and I agree with Lee, it's one of them games where you're going to learn from the mistakes, right? We were so comfortable in that game, so comfortable. I mean, I was sat here watching it, that I think we just got sloppy. We got sloppy towards the end. I mean, I don't think Saliba makes that mistake if we're 1-0 up. But the fact that we're 3-0 up, he's trying to overplay, he makes that error, right? And then it's 3-1, right? And, you know, honestly, I agree with James. I think we could have scored more if we really, really wanted to in that game. But we got a bit complacent, and that's something we can learn from.
Yeah, and what I liked about Mikel, what he said, Rob, was that he said, what pleased you most about that? And he said, when I went in the dressing room and the players were saying we weren't happy with this and happy with that. So that tells you that there was a little bit of sloppiness, there was a little bit of what Julian's saying. But I also think that there was a lot of pluses to take from that as well. Like, you know.
Of course.
Oh, big pluses.
Of course, any win away from
Do you know what? Yeah, any win away from. But how many times we've been in here in the past when we've seen other teams slip up, and you know, but there's a not an arrogance, but I was confident, you know, like that we would go in and get the job. Brighton, a difficult place.
Brighton is a place that we have a horrendous record at. I mean, let's remember that. And the way we went there, and the
made it look easy.
Yeah, it was exceptional.
Made it look easy, by the way, at Brentford a few months back, which
So-
everybody else has found very, very difficult.
So that's what's interesting now. We faced Newcastle, who've got a really good record against the Big Six, as they're called. So what are they? They went to Old Trafford and drew. They beat Chelsea 1-0. They went to Anfield, very narrowly lost in the 97th minute. They drew 3-3 with Man City. They went to Spurs and won. So kind of we're coming up against a team today that they've shown that they can kind of, raise their level. Their level's been fantastic all season, but, get to a level they're really competitive home and away against these sides that have spent a lot of money over the last 5 years to build these, big squads. And, they're showing they can compete. And you're right, when you look at what Brentford did against Liverpool, Brentford have also been doing really, really well against the Big Six. They've had a formula that's worked for them. Brighton as well this season. Arsenal have been able to overcome that. So this is another game kind of going into it. Newcastle have been doing really, really well against these sides. Can Arsenal go and, basically show the kind of authority they showed at Brighton, they showed at Brentford? I think that's going to be interesting because we scored 7 goals at those places. Now Newcastle got the best defence in the league. Can we again just be too overpowering for them and get a couple of goals? I think it'll be really interesting to see if Arsenal can do what other Big Six sides struggle to do against them. Yeah,
definitely. AFC Max says, was Saka's goal against Chelsea when he looped it over Mendy that looked like a cross? No, it was brilliant. The same with Odegaard. How many times have we seen Ozil do that? No luck at all. Brilliant piece of skill. Come on, Julian.
I did think the Saka one was lucky.
What's the poll saying?
Shref says Arsenal going to smash Newcastle. I'm worried which dance and song Robbie will be doing if Arsenal sign Mudryk. Hope he watched AFTV's posts and his favourite songs and steps as a hint. Hopefully we can get that one over the line. And Nelly says buy show and tactical insight show tomorrow. Brilliant, boys. So he's loving that.
We'll be back.
The poll, I'm just trying to find the poll. Oh, here's the poll. The poll at the moment, did Odegaard mean his goal? 2,168 people have voted. 88% say yes. 88%. Look, you see it there?
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
He can't fool
Look, the thing is, there's only one person's opinion that counts on these polls, and that's if Odegaard honestly says if he meant it or not. And if he came out honestly without a smile on his face,
a bit of biased view.
Yeah,
Great.
Also, I'm not sure he's in the change room going, oh, look at this poll. Yeah, go on.
he might be.
Could everyone in the change room just quickly hit yes on this poll? Anyway, we've got the players arriving.
They're showing the Arsenal and Newcastle.
Yeah, all coming in at the same time. That's
coming in at the same time.
That's interesting.
Coming in at the same time. There's Bruno Guimaraes coming in there for them. Joe Linton. They have got some very good players. You know what I mean? It's going to be a tough game for Arsenal tonight. Jason says,
big strong side as well.
Jason says, I like seeing how Arteta's tactics change in order for the players to be able to express themselves still. Sorry. To the squad, the team tonight, guys. Would you make any changes?
No.
No?
No, a little bit harsh on Tierney, but I think that I will keep with the same.
Changes, would you make?
I'd probably bring in Tierney, and that's a very, very kind of tight call. And the reason I do that is because Zinchenko has come back from quite a long, not a massive term, like a medium-term injury, and I think to have 2 games at that intensity back to back with just a few days recovery time would be too much for him. I think Tierney is in a better position fitness-wise to fill in.
He didn't start
against Brighton.
He started against Brighton, but he didn't start.
Zinchenko started against Brighton.
Yeah, but West Ham he didn't start.
Well, exactly. So that he's had 2 games in quick succession. I think for a player coming back from injury, and it is a real margin call, I'd put Tierney in.
Hassan Khan says, but Zinchenko's playing really well.
And so was Tierney.
I could see that. Yeah. I could see him going Oxford, Spurs, United to come. But I wouldn't go for that personally. I think if Zinchenko is fine, you play him. They'll have all the sports scientists and all the research to, they measure these fitness levels in so many ways. I think if that's all telling you he's fine, you play Zinchenko. I just think we don't have time to waste. And quite frankly, when the Europa League comes back and then you've got the FA Cup game, then you can rotate. Zinchenko doesn't have to play the games. I don't think Zinchenko got a single minute in the Europa League group stage, whereas everyone else, Saliba, Gabriel, Saka, Martinelli, Jesus, they all had to run out in some way, shape or form. So I just think you go with Zinchenko today because he's just so crucial. We actually looked at it on DR Sports, on Talking Tactics. We're talking about how from minutes 1 to 60 when he was on the pitch, they didn't cause us any problems, Brighton. The minute he came off, it just felt that we lacked control.
Yeah, I agree. I think, look, you know, any calls that they make is going to be tough on somebody. You know, all I'm looking forward to, I just want to see the number 10 Smith Rowe on that bench, because that just gives me a little bit more confidence with if things are not going right, you know, 10-15 minutes ago from the end or something like that. I don't think we've got that many game changers on the bench, Robbie. That's my biggest problem, like, you know. So it would be there. I think Tierney can count himself a little bit unlucky not to be in the team at this moment, because I think he'd done really well in the friendlies. Done okay at West Ham. I didn't think he was brilliant against West Ham, but yeah, I thought he'd done okay. Looking back on it, he had a
Going forward, he's all right,
yeah.
Zinchenko was excellent against Brighton.
Yeah, different game though, because I tell you what, they targeted that area where Tierney was in, and Gabriel weren't winning his headers. You know what I mean? Like, and eventually, the second half he did, and then Tierney got better and better. So I think that it's a combination of everything there. But I think that Tierney plays, he'll do well. But for me, you know, Zinchenko, his fitness levels are unbelievable. To come back and put in that performance after being out for that long is incredible.
Okay, Cameron Brooks says, what top quality number 6 can we sign in January? It's too hard. Patino is going to be the long-term Xhaka replacement. Rob, we are playing Newcastle, not Liverpool. Yeah, I saw that. Guys on the, you know, I don't know why Liverpool's thing's running along the bottom of the screen here. We are playing Newcastle, right? They're interviewing Thomas Partey on screen at the moment. This game is not far away. We're about 8 minutes away from knowing what the starting 11 is going to be, and that guy will surely be starting because he's such an important player, isn't he? Thomas Partey.
Unbelievable. He's been so good for us, and the debates have been going on. Rodri, Casemiro, Partey. Look, I think this is a position where you're seeing real specialists get talked about and appreciated finally for what they do, because to be a lone defensive midfielder in terms of, you know, all teams press, but when they beat that first line of the press, often the 6 is very isolated. Yeah, there's a back 4 behind them, but there's a lot of ground to cover, and players like Partey, Casemiro, Rodri do it so well. Fabinho has for many years, although again, you know, he's not been at his best this season. But also it's to constantly be available when the centre-backs have the ball. He needs to get the ball. He's got his back to goal. He's got to be able to turn and then feed the forward players. It's a really difficult role, and I don't know if there's another role, maybe a goalkeeper, where actually if you make an error, it can be punished so much. Of course you've got a centre-back, but centre-back, the same risks aren't taken. So I just think Partey's been unreal for us. He's
going to get tested tonight because Joe Linton,
they'll
in
be on
midfield, he'll be pressing on him, very physical player.
Yeah.
That's going to be a battle to watch in
well,
midfield.
Another reason why Zinchenko's so important. Do you remember when Unai Emery faced us in the Europa League with Villarreal, they just swamped Thomas Partey and assured we couldn't play through him. But actually, now we've had Zinchenko in and we saw at the bridge, they just didn't know who to stop. Do you stop Partey? Do you stop Zinchenko? And actually, by having 2 of them, and you know what? If they want to press both, well, that means there's space somewhere else on the pitch.
Yeah, exactly.
And we've got the speed to exploit that.
That's exactly it. And I just think that's why another reason why Zinchenko is crucial. But the 2 of them, when they're playing, we do seem to have control of most games of football.
Okay, AFC Max says, let me dampen Lee's spirits. Emil Smith-Rowe won't be on the bench. Yes, he's back in training, but not quite there yet. I know you want to see him back, but he's not ready. Ibi B says, Eduardo is at the game tonight. There's an alternative timeline out there where he never gets injured and helps us to win that 08 title.
And somewhere in the multiverse that happened.
And I actually think that if that injury didn't happen on that day, we would have won it. It was disgusting.
Big Ash says the only thing that would hurt more than losing the title to City is losing the title to Newcastle. We absolutely need to win this game. We owe them one from last year, remember? They are one of the main reasons why we didn't get that top 4. Hessim says, let's get the job done. Come on, you Gunners. It's now or never. Sounds like a documentary, that.
When you look back
big up Cecil G in the chat. Big up.
Where is Cecil?
Yeah.
I don't know, but he's in the chat.
Oh, good.
With eyes, emojis there. Good afternoon, Don Robbie. Are you feeling excited or nervous? And that's coming from Indulge TV. I am feeling excited.
Yeah, I am. I'm not so. I was nervous going to that. You know, I know we got a lot of stick for that, but the game against West Ham because it was
it was the unknown, wasn't it?
It was the unknown.
You screaming in the night, was it?
It was. You know what I mean? Like, I won't go as bad as that, but like but that was the unknown. If someone would have turned around and come in Julian's dream and said, "Don't worry, Julian. In the next 2 games, you're going to win and you're going to score 7 goals," you'd have gone, "Don't be so stupid."
No, I would have believed it.
But I would have. Well, it's been incredible. It's been incredible those 2 games. So those 2 games have given me the confidence, calmed me down, give me the confidence going into these big 3 games now, because we could have been going like. No, losing those 2 games and going into these, but we've got all the confidence going in there now. Nail this game now. Come on,
and we've got a cushion as well.
Yeah,
we've actually, if we do drop points, we're still ahead. We're still in it. Whereas if we drop points against West Ham, Brighton, those were 2 games we're absolutely expected to just get 6 points, and that's when it becomes nervous. Today, if we draw, it's not the greatest result. But it's also not a massive setback either.
It does also give City then the incentive to go there tomorrow.
I think it's a big. I think we've got to nail home our own game.
Yeah, I think we've got to win this. EBB says Arteta giving an all-timer of a team talk tonight. We are 4 minutes away from knowing what the team is going to be tonight.
We're getting there. I'm going to scream.
We're getting very, very close to scream in the middle of the night. Right, we're getting very, very close. But this, for me, is a very important game tonight. Yes, I do agree with you. Of course, we've got that buffer at the moment. But, just if we can just keep this run going, and especially the home form, it's going to be of the utmost importance. And I think there's a lot of football fans out there of other clubs, and they're just rubbing their hands secretly and saying, "Yeah, this could be another." They've been doing it for weeks. There's a lot of them on Saturday saying, "Brighton, no way. This is when Arsenal fall off." We went there and smashed them. Yeah. This is another one of their games where they're going, "Right, this is it. I know this Arsenal team ain't got the minerals. This is the one when they slip up." Honestly, we get through this month. There's a lot of fans already starting to say to themselves, "Hey, you know what? This Arsenal team is the real deal." Yeah. And this will add to that.
I honestly think a lot of the other opposition fans have been very complimentary to us this time around. I was bumped into a couple and they said, "Bloody hell, you're doing better than what I thought you was going to do." So.
Yeah, because we won 14 out of 16 games.
Yeah, and can't argue with that.
And we've been absolutely relentless. What I'm fascinated by is how Newcastle approached this game. You see, when we lost 2-0 back in May and that cost us ultimately Champions League football, they absolutely suffocated us. They were all over us. We couldn't get out our half. We couldn't create chance. We couldn't string any passes together. Everyone lost their heads. Players were injured. It was just a complete disaster. But they just didn't let us breathe. And then when we got to half-time 0-0, we thought, okay, we got away with it. Let's regroup. And we know Arteta's normally really good at making tweaks and adjustments, and you go again. We didn't. And so I'm really interested what Newcastle do today. Are they going to approach this as, well, this is a different Arsenal. Let's not give them too much in the first 10 minutes.
And it is a different Arsenal because there's so many players that played that night that won't be playing.
But they're all half fit.
Because we had
they were half fit in that game.
We had a lot of injuries that day as well.
Massive amount of injuries. And the other thing is that Newcastle had absolutely nothing to play for. They had no pressure on them whatsoever.
Their last home game.
And it was their last home game. We went there and the atmosphere was
typical. It was a great atmosphere.
Well, I wouldn't call it great.
Well, for them it was.
For them it was. But they went for it without any restrictions. They were able to play with a handbrake off, whereas tonight they're going to start to... They're in a position that they're not used to. I mean, this time last year, they were 19th. Now they're 3rd.
There's pressure on them tonight because if they are to lose tonight, Man United can go above them. You know what I mean? Don't kid yourself when they say, we're not, I've got no pressure, because look at their reaction to a 0-0 draw with Leeds. You know what I mean? There's pressure on them. You know what I mean? Now, if we beat them today, that's 5 points they've dropped in 2 games. You know what I mean? So that's what
and their
you
little
need to
runs
do.
over. And they didn't start the season great either. I think they only got 1 win out of the first 6. They got loads of draws.
There were a lot of draws, but that's when they've shown an ability to not get beaten.
Let me go for a couple of super chats. Adifa with a super chat. Thank you very much. You didn't leave a message, what you want to say. The Magic Potato says, hello, Don Rob. Excited for the match tonight. My brother, Kieran, asked Lee, why are you bald? Come on, you Gunners. Big love from Ireland. Why are you bald? Well, we ain't got that here, that's why. PSV says, big up to everyone, especially you, Knocker. Let's get revenge for last season.
Who's Knocker?
Who's that?
Don't even start.
Is that you? You Knocker.
Yeah, thanks to this guy.
What's Knocker?
Knocker. All right, and another super chat here.
I still don't get it.
Another super chat here from AFC Max. He says, Robbie, Abby and Matisse have been rubbing their hands since the start of the season. Watching them being depressed is the energy I need to inject it. All right, I think the lineups are here. Yes, they are. The lineups are here, so let's take a look at it right now. Lineups for Arsenal. In goal, Aaron Ramsdale. Right back, Ben White, William Saliba, Gabriel, and Zinchenko starts. A midfield of Martin Odegaard, Thomas Partey, and Granit Xhaka. And up front, Saka, Eddie Nketiah, and Martinelli. No changes from the victory against Brighton. On the bench is Matt Turner, Kieran Tierney, Rob Holding, Tomiyasu, Fabio Vieira, Mohamed El Neni, Albert Sambi Lokonga, Nathan Butler Adeyi, and Marquinhos.
That's exactly the bench as well, I think.
That is the Arsenal team to play tonight. No Smith Rowe. Let me give you the Newcastle team. The Newcastle team is Nick Pope in goal, Kieran Trippier, Fabian Schär, Sven Botman, and Dan Burn, the back four. Sean Longstaff, Bruno Guimaraes, and Joe Willock making a return to the Emirates. And up front, Miguel Almiron, Callum Wilson, and Joe Linton.
Wow, no changes really.
No real changes for them as well.
You'd expect from them.
Their bench, Dubravka, Jamal Lewis, Lascelles, Manquillo, Matt Ritchie, Elliot Anderson, Jacob Murphy, Chris Wood, and Alanson Maximan. That is their team. So strong team for Newcastle, strong team for Arsenal.
Yeah. And they've got a strong bench as well. To have Maximan on the bench, they must be a quality team.
They are a quality team.
I thought he was excellent, that Maximan.
Sorry, who's leading the line for them? Was it
Callum Wilson. Cliff says, stop making excuses for last year against Newcastle. We bottled it, plain and simple. Today is time to set the record straight. I'm not making excuses, but you do have to look at the fact that there was a lot. What I was trying to say is that there was a lot of players that are playing tonight that did not play last year. That is the point I'm trying to make.
They patched up a lot of players that night. They had to. It was
White wasn't fit, didn't he?
Yeah, that was straight after the Tottenham
defeat. Gabriel limp off against Spurs.
and we had Holding. I mean, Holding was sent off against Spurs, so he had no choice. He literally had to patch that team up. Everything that could have gone wrong that night went wrong.
But remember we talked about make our own luck, right? You know, we were unlucky, you could say, with the situation going to that game. However, we talked about January needing depth, needing reinforcements, and so the same players played week in, week out till they got to the very last bit, and they just broke down.
But they so nearly got away with it.
Got away with it. Yes,
and that's where luck and unluck it comes in. And football's a game of very fine margins, and sometimes you just need to be the right side of the line. And against Brighton, the 4 goals were just the right side of the line.
Jam Skeet says, Don Robbie, give expressions some tissues with a super chat there. Cliff, I've done that one already. Overtime Malik says, who is Denzel Washington? I only know Lee Judges. You heard what he said.
Oh, what did he say?
He said
they're tighter than. What did he say?
He said it's like having a pair of skinny jeans on Don Robbie. They're tight, man.
What's he talking about?
About their spending. About what they're spending.
Yeah, yet again, them Tottenham man making excuses, right? Not forgetting that they bought Richarlison and Romero and all those. But anyway, that's SM says Arsenal wins the league in May. Oh my God, my wedding is in June. Best wedding gift ever. Trust the process, he says. I hope you're right, SM. I was waiting for Robbie to say Mudryk, says Samuel. Abby, of course, let's talk a little bit about that before I get your predictions. Would that be a good signing for us if we get that done?
Yeah, we need someone like that. We need to strengthen. We need to strengthen in two areas, in the forward area and midfield. I'm happy with what we've got at the back. I think we've got two decent goalkeepers. I think Turner has proved that he's getting better and better. So I feel that if we was to bring in two players, listen, for me, I'm going to be really honest now. If I was Mikel and they said, I'd say forget about my summer budget. I'd rather have nothing in the summer. Give me it all now to get it now, because you have got an opportunity when you're 7 points clear of Manchester City in January. That ain't going to happen every year, Robbie. You know what I mean? So this is our time now. Forget about we're a year in front on that. 7 points clear. Nail it now. And if we just bring in a couple of players, I think we'd be great. I still got to look back to last January, as what James was saying. Manchester United, us, Tottenham and West Ham were all going for top four at this time last season. One team bought players, the other three didn't. And that team went on to get top four. So it's vital, just a couple of players, just to give us the strength going into a very hectic last part of the season.
Okay, AFC Max says, Arsenal, I'm looking at you. If we win the league, can you please have a parade around Spurs and Chelsea Stadium? And Amory Nail says, we need a 12-man. Gunners fans will win this game. Home support to make the difference. The fortress is unbreakable. NTT Music says, big up AFTV. Special to mention to Judge and Knocker, right?
I don't get it.
We don't get it. Yeah. Shall I explain?
Yeah, go on,
Can you explain it to me? Why am I knocker?
We had a bet, in the World Cup, and James hadn't paid. He still hadn't paid.
I haven't.
Yeah. So, he's knocked me, you know what I mean? So you get the name Knocker. So I just actually said, James and Knocker, and now everybody just calls him Knock Knock.
I'm just sick of funding this man's life. I'm absolutely sick of it.
Well, then why don't you win the bets?
Well, I got pulled out of a hat. What can I do? We got Argentina.
Looks like you're going to lose this bet, aren't you?
Another
Zinchenko. I'm losing this one.
The Magic Potato 36 says, another one from me. Sorry about my brother Lee, but a genuine Christian would be, what do we need most in the next transfer window? Thanks again. Well, I think Lee's just sort of gone through that. And to win today, we need Odegaard firing, says James Blakey. Right, guys, let's get your predictions, starting off with you.
I would say 1-0 to the Arsenal. It's going to be tight. Also look at Newcastle, and they don't score that many goals. And also, from what I can see, not that I've done that much research, is 47% of their goals come from just two players. So if you can stop both of those...
Who are they?
Almiron and...
Callum Wilson. Callum Wilson.
Callum Wilson. So the fact thank you.
It's a nice stat there.
Yeah. So the fact that all the goals come from just two areas, then it should be easier to defend against them. With our defence, I think we'll do it. But they are also
good. Scored a couple of goals recently as well. So it's not just two people.
47% are come from them, which is quite a high stat.
But there's another 53%.
Yeah.
Somewhere. Right. Prediction.
1-0.
1-0 as well.
That's all I have to say.
2-0.
2-0. I'm going for 2-0 as well. We're all going for a clean sheet. It's going to be a tight game. It's going to be a great game. It's two fantastic teams. Don't forget, guys, to check it out here. We're going to be doing the Matchday Live watch along. Turkish and the guys are going to be in the studio coming up very, very shortly. Also, I think Cecil's in the building as well.
She's got here.
Massive watch along tonight. So make sure you check that one out. The only place to watch it is right here on AFTV. And then after the game, you guys get a chance to have your say in the full-time show where James will be there, all right? So make sure you check that out. Me, Julian, and Lee, we're off to the game now, so looking forward to it. And let's hope we can get a big win. Once again, a reminder of the starting lineup for Arsenal's Ramsdale in goal, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko, Partey, Xhaka, Martinelli, Odegaard, Saka, and Eddie Nketiah. Basically, the same team as what played and beat Brighton. Let's hope they can get the job done tonight as well. If we do, it would take us 10 points clear of Manchester City who currently sit in second place ahead of their game against Chelsea tomorrow. So huge incentive for Arsenal to get this one done. Thanks for watching the show. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out NordVPN. The link is in the description. Also, scan the QR code on the screen. NordVPN to give you full protection. So make sure you check that out right now. And as I said, make sure you join us for Match Day Live. It's going to be a big game tonight. Come on, you Gunners.
It's like I've had no freedom to just be myself. I keep getting restricted. It's like someone's watching me at home, on the train, even in the bathroom. It's making me see red!
Well, that's because London is red.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Well, just to be sure, I'm going to prescribe you 2 years of NordVPN. You'll feel a better sense of self when you can explore the internet with freedom. And with next generation encryption on up to 6 devices, those feelings of being watched will be gone.
Does that mean I can access new content on streaming services I've already subscribed to?
Just change your location in the app.
And I won't get tagged by any malware?
Nord's threat protection will have you covered.
And I can save money when travelling and shopping locally instead of internationally?
All that plus 4 months free.
Oh wow. Thank you, Doc.
All right, Ty.
No, I'm not right. It's a disgrace.
Charming.
Remember, with the AFTV special, you get 4 months free, and there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to nordvpn.com/AFTV now.